Welcome to another episode of Gentle Power.
Yes, we're
And
just doing back-to-back episodes.
we put a lot of chit chat in the last one, so for this one, we want to experiment just jumping right in, but having this
Straight to business.
almost be like a micro episode, just
Yeah.
a quick tip.
We don't have time.
We don't have time.
We're on a layover
Yeah,
in our own city, but not in our own home. It's a long story. Just listen to the last episode.
We need to leave for our flight in about 30 minutes, so
Okay.
we're definitely trying to squeeze this in. What is the topic that we have lined up for today?
The topic is you have probably given away your leverage even when you don't realize you have.
So in what situations?
So I was talking to one of our clients recently, and she is a powerhouse. She's an exec in big tech, one of the top 5 big tech companies, and she has an incredible education. I mean, pretty much all our clients are like that. Execs, mid-careers in big tech, and have an absolute top education, lot of experience, pretty senior. So you would think that they haven't given away any leverage, and they think they haven't because they know don't give a number and things like that. I need to gather information when we first start the call, and she's telling me what the conversations have looked like, and she goes, I told them I'm very overpaid at my job, and I even sent them my W-2s from last year.
Oh no.
And then later on, I'm just sitting there. I don't want to make her feel bad, but I'm like, we try to get to the top of the budget. We will try to have conviction that we haven't left money on the table. However, it seems like you've given away some leverage along the way. And she's like, just out of curiosity, for the future, when did I give away my leverage? I'm like, you shared with them how much you're making right now. And you even shared the W-2s of your last year. A lot of people don't realize that there are laws in most major states in the US where it's illegal for companies to ask you about your salary history. And that's precisely because it gives away your leverage in negotiations, and a job shouldn't calculate how much they're paying you based on how much you get paid at your current job or previous jobs. And so basically she gave away that leverage for free, and she even showed proof of it.
So they didn't ask for it. She proactively shared?
No, they didn't ask because it's illegal.
Right.
In
a lot of states.
In a
many
lot of states like California, New York,
Massachusetts. I think at least 50%
yeah.
of states have this law.
Most of states have it.
Yeah.
Some of them put it through legislation this year, but in many of them it already took effect. And so they didn't ask. This is a big tech company, but they maneuvered the conversation. And this is why you need a negotiations consultant. The way the recruiter maneuvered the conversation, our client, this was before she became our client. Our client felt like, let me show you proof that I make so much already. The thing is, she didn't need to show proof. Like, why? First of all, why would they doubt her? And second of all, they know that, this is such common knowledge, especially for a recruiter, which is what they do day in and day out. They know that you can get paid above your band. So even if they know the band, they're like, oh, this person at this company makes this much. They know it's possible for a rock star to get paid way above the band. And they wouldn't have asked for proof because it's illegal. And so now she anchored them to that number. And I was like, they might not use this as an argument, but it might be implied that, like, why should you get paid so much more when you're already making this much?
So in the client's defense, because I think
Yeah.
people won't necessarily,
Yeah.
they don't often know that, hey, I shouldn't be sharing this information, that this is giving away leverage. So
Yes.
what...
They don't realize they're giving away that.
Right. So from her perspective, I think she was probably thinking, look, I know that I make a lot and it's a big number.
Yeah.
So that probably makes it seem that I'm very desirable in the market.
Yeah.
But is the idea, though, that if she shares, what if this company that she's interviewing with had 2x that budget?
Exactly. Yeah. And she told me that she knows someone at this company paid them, I don't know, 3-4x above what they were making at a previous job. And that's anecdotal, but yes, we don't know. So the fundamental is this. Just to remind people, you and I, the way we approach negotiation advice and coaching is all based on first principles. No one set me down and is like, here's how you negotiate with a Meta recruiter, a Google recruiter, or like a startup recruiter. Of course, I had a lot of years of experience doing it, but I go through all of this off of first principles. And the idea here is that we don't know the true budget a company has for a given role. The average candidate doesn't even have access to real market data. What you can find online is not real market data. It's more like random people sharing, and then these websites aggregating that for free. These people, who knows if they're sharing real numbers, and then there's bias of who are the people who are sharing and all that. So that data is already not good. But even if you somehow have access to the best data in the world, you can go to a company and say, the data says this is how much you should pay me. Well, to begin with, a company has its own internal philosophy on whether they pay 50th percentile of the market, 75th, 90th, 99th. So there's that. What point are you choosing, right? And then the second piece is there will always be internal reasons why a company might pay you below market or above market. Whichever point we pick, even if you pick around 50th percentile, 99th percentile, who knows, maybe someone super important on the team is going on parental leave or is leaving entirely, or there's some product that is launching soon and they need to get it right, or there's a reorg. There's a million reasons why they might want to pay. Or like AI is so hot right now, they want to grab the best talent and they don't want to compete with OpenAI, meaning they don't want OpenAI to steal the best talent in the market, just as an example. And so there's so many internal dynamics that we cannot know that makes a company want to pay you below or above market. And that's why you don't want to share any numbers like your preferred salary. We've said this again and again, but the fact that people keep making this mistake, I think it gives me reassurance that it's okay for us to repeat it again and again. You don't want to share a number like a preferred salary or total comp because we don't know their top of their budget. And if you say a number, the number could be below top of budget. They might give it to you. Now you've left money on the table because they're not going to give you a cent more. Or you might say a number that's way above the top of their budget, which may make them be turned off. Or they might simply, even if they have the kindest heart and they give you the benefit of the doubt, they might just be like, this person will not be happy here if they're asking for so much more than what we had originally planned. But I want to go back to a point that I was trying to make, which is, let's say you ask for something and they give you more than what you asked for. So that's possible. We have seen that happen. Extremely rare, absolutely extremely rare. But if that happens, something to think about is that, well, the fact that they gave you more, that probably means they had even more. Yeah. So you've left money on the table.
Yeah.
A lot of our clients sometimes say, I'm happy with this offer. Of course, I'm happy you're happy, but you come to me and what I'm trying to do is I want you to have conviction that you haven't left money on the table. I'm so glad you're happy with it, but you leaving money on the table that they would have been happy to give you, that compounds throughout your career because all your promotions, all your moving around, essentially what I'm trying to say is wherever you're at now, all your future comps are most likely, most often, based off of the points where you're at now. And so even though you're happy with your comp now, that 10K you might be leaving, even if it's as small as 10K, usually it could be more, like 50, 100, who knows. But let's say it's 10K, your next promotion is less, your sign-on bonus is less because of that 10K. And then like you're not investing it. And so like by the time you retire, that 10K was worth like 500K, right? Like if you had invested it or if you had gotten promotions that, so there's a lot to think about.
So by not negotiating, you are impacting your future comp as well, because
future comp,
every promotion, every raise, every new job is the baseline that's being set when you approach those negotiations is lower if you didn't negotiate previously.
Exactly. And even at the same company, like usually a promotion, let's say a promotion is what, like 5-10%, even 20% above. But now that you've missed this 10K, again, I'm using 10K as like a small amount where you're like, I'm okay not getting another 10 extra K. But again, this, what you're leaving on the table is often a lot more. But that 10K, now your promotion and your bonus, your annual bonus is less, your promotion is less because it's a percentage of your current comp, and that 10K, you're not investing it for the next 20, 30 years. And so all of those missed opportunities that 10K could have given you, now it's worth probably like $500,000.
Yeah, that compounds, over time.
And again, our priority as your consultants, as your negotiations partners, is to preserve the relationship, absolutely, and then also preserve the offer if you want to preserve it. Some people don't care. We want to preserve the offer because the rescinded offer is just not good vibes. But within that, then we don't want to leave money on the table. We're not saying you need to squeeze every 10K they might have scrambled to find for you. We're saying it's on the table. They're happy to give it to you if you play the game well, without hurting the relationship or the offer. Why not grab it? So that's the way to look at it, instead of I'm already happy with the offer. Yeah.
All right. Was there any other final points on this?
Yeah. Final points is that there's so many other ways you're giving away your leverage. A lot of people start talking about family planning. Well, that might make the company not want to hire you, even though it might be illegal, but it's a he said, she said.
Yeah, and it's subconscious bias could even... You can never point back to this is the reason why we didn't hire you, is maybe there was another better candidate who was a better fit.
Yeah, or like you want to start your own company. They're like, oh, well, actually, we want retention for the long run. There's so many places that you might be giving away your leverage where you're not even realizing that you're giving away your leverage. Again, the bigger ones are sharing comp history, current comp or previous comp, sharing who you're talking to, what other companies, if you have another offer, how much it is, if you're just talking to other companies, who they are, even the industry, it gives away your leverage. Even saying, I'm not talking to other companies, I'm so happy where I'm at, that's also giving away your leverage. There's all these ways that we have put together 15 videos where we, as soon as we sign a client, we're like, watch this, not only so you know where we're headed, you understand our negotiation philosophy, you know the foundationals, but also so you can tell us where you gave away your leverage. So we go end to end in the negotiation process on these videos, and we say, this is where you're giving away your leverage, don't do this, don't do that. And then when clients watch these videos, I say, when you watch them, have you given away your leverage anywhere? So that's another way that we're helpful.
And it's not just people don't realize they're giving away leverage. They will proactively share things that they think is strengthening their leverage, but it has actually hurt them, such as sharing the past current comp history, actual W-2s.
Who you're talking to.
Sharing. We've talked about this many times before, but someone said, oh, I got an offer from TikTok. But they were talking to a very small, mission-driven healthcare startup.
That's my favorite example.
Yeah, and well, we can't compete with TikTok, so we're not even going to try to win you over or give you more. You will have to make the decision on working here if the mission resonates with you, right? So there's so many things.
I want to go over the details on that very quickly. Here are some very nuanced examples of how you are giving away your leverage and you don't even realize. We had this client who was interviewing with a healthcare startup, which means mission driven, but typically very low cash because it was very early stage. And then he was also interviewing with TikTok, which is not that mission driven at the level of healthcare, but pays top of market, like 99th percentile.
They pay a lot.
And so he had offers from both of them. And he was so proud to share with them that he had offers from the other, because in this market, it's already so hard to get one offer, let alone two offers. He was asking us, I'm about to tell TikTok and the healthcare startup. I'm like, oh my gosh, do not tell them. The reason is because you go to a healthcare startup and you're like, I have another offer and it's from TikTok. Now, if they don't know who the offer is from, they might think it's another healthcare startup. If you're interviewing with them, you're probably interviewing with other similar companies. And if it's another startup, and if you don't share how much this other offer is at, then they might try to go above and beyond to win you over. But if you share that it's TikTok, they know they can't compete with a TikTok offer. The TikTok offer, the perks and the cash and also the equity, everything is incredible in terms of the compensation side. but also they are not competing on mission. And so an early stage healthcare startup will not even try to win you over from a TikTok offer because they know they can't compete on cash and they have so much more advantage on the mission. And similarly with TikTok, if you go to TikTok and you say, hey, I have another offer from a healthcare startup, TikTok knows they pay top of market and they also know they can't compete with a healthcare mission. And so TikTok will also not try to give you a better offer. Meanwhile, if they didn't know, they could wonder if your other offer is from, Instagram or YouTube or Snapchat, whoever TikTok's competitors are, and they might try to go above and beyond to get you a better offer. So that's one way where the client had no idea that they would have given away leverage by simply sharing something that he thought was giving him more leverage.
Right.
And similar to our other client that I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, where they were sharing, hey, I swear I make so much, look at my W-2 from last year. You don't have to prove how much you made and you're giving away so much leverage. Again, things people think are a pride point, but it's actually hurting your negotiations.
Yeah.
Okay.
.com.
Not .com.
Not .com, yeah.
Okay, we can wrap it up here.
All right. See you at the next episode.
See ya.